Hey guys, first of all, I know how cliche it is to shoot a video from inside your car, but I think you'll forgive me when you see what the value is of what I'm going to tell you. It just popped into my head. I run into this a lot and I keep meaning to make a video about it, but it's so prevalent, it's so significant in terms of creating obstacles and sometimes full-on setbacks for athletes in our age range, fit people who are exercising regularly and do any number of sports or multiple sports, or if you just dabble in a bunch of different things. Anyway, the point is, because of the demand that our profile has for movement, for freedom of movement and quality of movement, what we don't realize is that there's a reason that back, shoulder, and hip injuries are by far the most prevalent orthopedic injuries outside of traumatic impact injuries like a sports ski injury or a car accident, that sort of thing. And usually it's a problem that builds up slowly over time. For the shoulder, it can be an imbalance between the chest and the upper back that is the primary contributor to that predisposition. But let's talk about backs and knees for a minute. A very common root cause for progressively decreased freedom of movement and mobility at the joint, functional mobility at the joint, is often a very tight hip glute complex. Now, there's a way to check on that, check for that, and I'll mention that in a second, but let me tell you why first. The way that the body works is we have, from the ground up, more mobile joints and more immobile joints. More range of motion at the ankle, for instance, as compared to the knee. More range of motion at the hip as compared to the knee and the spine, of course, which is a system of joints. And then the neck has more mobility, but staying from the collarbone down. The reason hip glute complex can often be tight is because it's a combination, it could be a combination of strength training that we do, the way that we do the strength training, often it's the length of time that you spend sitting in a chair throughout the day, at home or at work or wherever, driving maybe, and then a combination of that with suddenly explosive chaotic movements like playing volleyball or basketball or in a softball league or even golf, which creates a lot of trunk rotation, explosive rotational torque on the low spine. Anyway, so if the hip glute complex is tight, what you're doing is you're taking the biggest, most powerful cluster of muscles and the most consequential joint in terms of that muscular concentration, and creating a significantly reduced level of mobility for it that tries to push off excessive mobility into joints that are not intended to accommodate that level of mobility. So if your hip glute complex is really tight, it's easy to create an additional strain by a referral dysfunction down to the knee or up into the back. Now, there's an easy way that you can check on that. If you lie supine or belly up on your back, right knee, let's say you're right-handed, left knee at 90 degrees, so your heels on the floor, knees up to a 90-degree angle. Cross your right leg over your left knee, just above the knee on the left side and just above the ankle on the right side. Then bring your left knee in towards your chest, and the shin and the pelvis will tilt. The shin will come forward, or come in towards the sternum, and the pelvis will tilt forward to accommodate that. If you cannot close the distance between your sternum, that's where your ribs meet and the ribs join in the center, between your sternum and the midpoint of your shin, if you cannot close that distance more than you can't get it under 10 inches, you can't get it to like 6, 5, 4 inches, I can assure you, you have significant restricted mobility at the hip the glute, or both. So if you want to know what the remedy for that is, I have a video that I'm happy to share with you. I'll DM it to you, but you need to put in the comments LB stretches, okay? LB or LBS, just put LBS, and that'll let me know lower body stretches. You want that video, and I will send it to you. Okay, hopefully this is helpful. It will be helpful if you use it, I promise you.